So what about, pricing? Because we talked off camera, we won't mention the name, but the number one, I guess, hair restoration place, hair transplant place in the world, okay, you're about 20% less, and you're adding more hairs, is what you told me.
Well, yeah.
Elaborate on that.
Okay, I charge $4 per graft for a transplant. My competitors charge as high as $6 a graft.
And the biggest guy in the world is about $5 a graft. Is that right?
Okay. $5 a graft. I find a lot of my competition estimates less grafts. They come to me and they say, well, this other place said I needed 2,000 grafts, and you're telling me I need 3,000 grafts. Well, I have to prove to them this is what they need.
How do you prove it?
Well, I take and lay out the area that we're going to transplant. I have a 1 centimeter grid that I lay over that, trace that out, then count how many square centimeters there are, take that times 40, and that tells you how many grafts you need. And there it is. That's black and white.
And you take a photograph of their head.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll ask them, well, how did the other clinic estimate it? Well, they just looked at me. Well, come on.
Is that right? So it's very important. Okay, so price, it's very important that the overall price might be less, but you're getting less grafts.
Exactly.
Less grafts means you don't get the thick hair.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Exactly. So, and the argument can be made, well, I want to rather do this twice. Well, I've never met anybody that when they come in that say, I want you to do the least amount of grafts. They always say, I want you to do the most grafts you can possibly do in one session. And that's what you do.
Now keep this in mind. And by the way, for people thinking about price, on top of the price, you're one of the only guys in the country that's injecting the plasma-rich stuff. What is it called? What is it called? Platelet-rich plasma.
PRP, platelet-rich
and the
plasma.
other
ACell
medicine, which goes in for possibly more hair stays, faster recovery. What used to take 4 or 5 months now, 2 or 3 months, less redness. So all of this has to be taken into consideration. Is that right?
Exactly. I mean, you have to go at this with the idea that you're the best in the world. You can't think, well, I'm okay.
You think you're one of the best in the world?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You have to think that, and you got to constantly strive for that. We go to hair transplant meetings, at least once a year, sometimes 2, 3 times a year. Every meeting I go to, I always learn something. And every meeting I go to, I always teach something. So it's an exchange of ideas. There's no residency program in hair restoration. It's the learning from other doctors that do this. And it's a constant learning process. I can remember my first hair transplant was 25 grafts, the old 4mm plugs. And as we got more and more into this, the first time I did 100 grafts, I thought, boy, that's a big case. 1,000 grafts, that was unheard of, And then we went to microscopic dissection. And we finally figured this out. Well, lo and behold, something else comes along. That lateral slits, the PRP, the ACell, there's constantly something new coming along in hair restoration. All of them benefits, all of them positive things. So hair restoration really has not been around since the early 60s.
But if somebody said Dr. DeArmond does more grafts for his patients than most guys, is that true?
That's true.
Than almost every guy.
Well, in Southern California, I know for sure. Most of the clinics that I compete with are in Southern California, and I do, more grafts.
What's your record? Grafts?
5,600.
5,600 grafts, and we have a picture of this guy. And here's one 5,300 grafts. And most guys do what? I mean, at these national chains, what are they doing?
Most of the places are 2,000 or less. In our average procedure anymore is 3,000 or more.
Is that, and your take is because it takes a lot of time, 6, 7 hours or 6 hours?
Yes.
And they're doing 3 to 5 patients a day, and you're doing one a day. But it doesn't drive up your prices, because I look at your prices, you're 20% less than they are.
Yeah, well, you can't price yourself out of the market. I mean, when I first started doing transplants, I charged $25 a graft.
Okay.
Well, if I charge $25 a graft and I do 1,000 grafts, that'd be $25,000. Well, people couldn't afford it.
So you're not more expensive than everybody else. Not even close. Not even close.
Not at all. I'm not the cheapest, nor I'm the fairest.
But you're a lot less than the national brands.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot less.
Yeah.
I mean, considerably less. So now do people get this, because the question here is about financing. Do you offer financing?
Yes, we have
Okay.
financing, and on approved credit. But we have, a financing institution that, can get 2 years of no interest.
Give us the inside scoop here. Okay, when it comes to price, what's the biggest mistake men are making right now, categorically, throughout the U.S., throughout the world, when getting and thinking about a hair transplant surgery? Since we're talking about price, is there a mistake? They go for the cheapest, they go for the less grafts.
Absolutely.
They're getting it too young. What is it?
They're going for the cheapest. That's the most common mistake.
Is it because they don't get it? And why is that a mistake?
Well, they think it's not a hard procedure. They think it's not a hard surgery. So why should I pay more? And I'm going to tell you what I want done. So why should I pay more? They don't appreciate my end of it, what I'm doing for them. And that's and that's can be very frustrating because, guys will say to me, well, why should I pay you this price when I can go down the street and get it for $1,000 less?
Final word on price. What do people need to know?
Well, that you pay for what you get.
Okay.
And make sure the doctors do certain things.
The evaluation, the consult.
Evaluation. I do an online consultation.
You do? With
Absolutely.
Skype?
Absolutely. And you can go and that's the real key here. Start building a rapport with that doctor.
You do online consultations?
Online consultation. And the thing about it, I do them, not a consultant. So avoid
not a salesperson.
Yeah, avoid the clinics. That have
if you're looking for the best price, it's not about going to a salesperson. Go to the doctor. Get the best price from the doctor. Is that right?
Exactly. And also, I tell patients too, well, what is your budget? Tell me what your budget is and see what I can come up with to fit your budget.
Okay.
Because it isn't like sodding a lawn here. We're creating effects. So if I can take a little bit of hair and create a positive change here, and it's within your budget, why not do it?
You probably single-handedly have probably more experience than anybody in the world. You're in the top 2% of experience when it comes to this. Is that fair to say?
That's true.
And you're using techniques that 99% of doctors doing this aren't using.
Exactly.
So that's true.
That's
right?
true.
And your price is 20% less than the #1 guys in the world. So your price is good.
Yes.
But this is a big topic, and there's art to it. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I think I proved myself. I prove, what we're going to do. I just don't show before and after photos. I show you what you're going to look like. And I think that's really a key here.
Final message, though, the ideal candidate is somebody that's bothered by their hair loss.
Correct. I think, anybody that's concerned about the hair loss and wants to do something about it, there are things that you can do to stop this.
And they Skype you.
They can Skype
Let's
me.
put your Skype number. Would you prefer to meet them in person, though, right?
Absolutely. That's
they just tilt their head.
But men hate to come in. Just think about yourself. You know, the idea of going in, meeting with somebody.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, they don't want nobody to know. We can do this online, and we can start to build I guarantee you, we'll build a rapport that you'll feel more comfortable about when you do come in. Because eventually you're going to have to come in.
Okay.
You got to come in and see me. But I've done a lot of consultations online, on the phone. 1-800-FOR-HAIR.
1-800-FOR-HAIR.
Or 800-FOR-HAIR online.
I like this this virtual consult. What do you call it? Do you have a fancy name for it?
Yeah, virtual consultation.
Virtual consultation.
Yeah.
Anybody else doing this that you know of?
Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
Are they any good?
No, not as good as I am.
Not as good as you are. All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show. Very good.
Thank you.
Very interesting stuff. You've been watching The Wellness Hour. I'm Randy Alvarez. If you would like to see this interview again on our website, you can visit our website at wellnesshour.com and just put in Dr. DeYarman or hair surgery or hair transplant surgery. You'll find us there. For now, wish you good health.